Şimdi futbolda pazarlama ve sponsorluk, tabii teknik direktörler, antrenörlerde pazarlama, sponsorluk ama biliyoruz ki antrenörler bir kulübün zaman zaman beslenme uzmanı oluyor, zaman zaman mentörü oluyor, zaman zaman psikolojik danışmanı oluyor. Büyük bir ihtimalle pazarlama ve sponsorluk konusunda da kulüp başkanlarını herhalde bilgilendiriyorlardır. Dr.Robert NIEMANN'ı buraya davet ediyorum. Sayın NIEMANN alkışlarınızla ve de Sayın Gülsev KASSAP hanımefendiyi de davet ediyorum Almanya'dan. Hoş geldiniz. Hoş geldiniz. Buyurun. Gülsev Hanım'ın mikrofonunu da taktık değil mi? Gülsev Hanım, sizin daha sonra bir oturumunuz daha olacak yanılmıyorsam. Değil mi? Tamam. Peki yaklaşık 25 dakika süreniz, buyursunlar. Söz sizin.
Söz benimse ben Robert'in takılmasını beklediğimden önce bir şey başlayayım. Hepinize önce hayırlı cumalar dilerim. TÜFAD'ın ve TFF'nin daveti için çok teşekkür ediyoruz, çok memnunuz. Burada sizlerle beraber olmak çok gurur verici. Metin Türel'e de tekrar saygılar anıp başsağlığı diliyoruz buradan. Robert'in tabii ki Türkçesi yok benim gibi. Onun için sonra İngilizceden devam ediyoruz. Bizim bir tanıştığımız süreçimiz 8 seneden beri tanışıyoruz. Evet, I'm just talking about our past. Yes. Biz 8 seneden beri tanıyoruz. Ben Almanya'da doğumluyum, Türk'üm ama. Robert'ten önce üniversite zamanından tanıştım. Sonra işte Almanya'da FC Bayern Münih'le çalıştım. Goal Play sonra sizi tanışacağız. Oliver Kahn'ın markası ve kurucusu Moritz Mattes'ten çalışıyorum. Ben de tabii 4 seneden beri Türkiye'deyim ve Türk-Alman arkadaşlıktan beraber burada güzel projeleri yapmayı hedefliyoruz. Robert, are you ready? Are you connected? All right, perfect. Then we can introduce you. Hoş geldin to our FIFEX 2019. We have a presentation already prepared for you, and yeah, let's start with our presentation first of all.
Yes, hello. Thank you also from my side, Mr. Hilbert, dear President, the Turkish football community. I'm born in Munich and I'm from Germany. I came in this morning from the snow to this beautiful place, and I'm very honored that I have the right and the possibility to talk to you. First of all, I would like to connect to the speech before, and I'm very, very impressed of the stadium and the new level of quality you're building here for the fans and the beautiful game. We had the World Cup 12 years ago in Germany, so the standard of our stadiums is something like 2004, 2006. So this is very, very impressive, and I wish you good luck with all your work here. For my introduction, maybe I can give you a little overview. I basically worked on all levels in the football industry, and we will go through every level, and I will give you my experience and my thoughts and my learnings from the football in Germany and from around the world.
Yeah, and that's why I think the best is to start first of all with the FIFA. I mean, you had an important role there and your experiences there. Can you talk about this first of all?
Right. So the World Federation of Football, you know, I'm working for them as a consultant for 5 years now. I started in the Members Association and Development Department, and for the last couple of years I'm working in the Professional Football Department. And the main reason of the Professional Football Department is to support the national leagues and the clubs within their leagues. And you might have heard about the FIFA club licensing system, which regulates basically the licensing of all professional football clubs. And first of all, of course, technical is relevant here, and medicine and management, infrastructure as we saw, and also youth. Youth development is one of the 5 most important angles of the FIFA club licensing system. So, and we see here that the youth development, that's also a topic of the seminar here, is very important, because the youth, as you know, brings the success of tomorrow. So I've been traveling around the world for FIFA in Latin America, a lot in Asia, in Kuwait, in China, and coming from Germany, I basically know all levels of development of a league and professional football. So, but I can say at the end, it always comes down to the talents, to you as coaches who identify talents and who train the talents and make them to the best. So we have to hurry up a little bit.
Yes,
so that's the main learning
the
from international football.
Football, yeah. The next is, of course, the Bundesliga in Germany. It's one of the most profitable leagues in Europe. So can you talk about your time there as a general manager, about the sales?
Yeah, I was heading the worldwide sales and marketing of German Bundesliga, and it's the most profitable league in the world in soccer. And I had a very, very interesting learning. We will talk about clubs later, but at the league has really a very strong responsibility. When we talk here about marketing and sales and sponsorship, you know about the centralized system of professional football leagues. And the German Bundesliga is doing it, I think, quite well. The most successful in revenues is the British Premier League, as you all know. So what is the idea of marketing and sales of a league? The league should represent not all, but some major rights of your clubs, of the teams, in a centralized way. And the best example are TV rights. But we also have a lot of sponsorship rights, you know, for the league sponsor, for events, for different sections of the industry. Like the German Bundesliga is playing with one licensed football. So all 612 matches of first and second tier in the German Bundesliga are playing with the same league. It used to be Adidas, now it's Derby Star. So the advantage of a centralized marketing and sales with the league is that they have the power, they combine the relevant rights of all of you and discuss with you the best deals which are possible. In the next couple of years, we will expect the new tender process for the TV rights. And each year in the last decades, you could see tremendous growth in the TV rights revenues. And this revenue gets redistributed to the clubs, yeah, to you. And you can work with them. You can build beautiful stadiums. You can invest into academies. You can train your talent and bring up new players also for the transfer market. So that was the main experience and the main learning at the league, to combine the power of clubs. And if I may say that, the league is a service partner for your clubs, yeah, to exploit your rights in the most profitable way.
And also get assistance at stadium management, what we saw. We have great stadiums, and I know your time at 1860 SV 1860 was as a club manager. I'm sure you have these experiences where you have this sportive success, what you have to manage. On the other side, you have the club management. Yeah.
Yes, so you might know this club. Yeah, it's the little brother of Bayern Munich in the city of Munich, and I had the honor to be the CEO of that club. And I really experienced the difficulty on the club level, how to manage a club. It's so difficult and bipolar. On one side, you're working as a kind of a manager to run your business, to really establish your revenues and the club as a company. And at the weekends, You go to the stadium and sport is ruling the show, and you never know what is your success, yeah? And then it reflects back to your economic situation. And I'm telling you, and you probably know, 1860 is a very old club, more than 100 years old, as the figures say, and it's very, very established in the community of Munich and Bavaria. But it was never really successful since winning the championship in 1966, when I was born, by the way. And they always been struggling behind or under FC Bayern Munich. But one thing made them different. First of all, the fan base. They have super strong fan base, and they go up and down. They ever stay behind their brand. And they have one of the most successful youth development track record. Yeah, and as we said, on the FIFA level, every club is obliged to have its own youth development center, and 1860 did very well. They had their own building next to the training camp. It was like a condominium, so 14 selected young players lived on the campus, lived day and night next to the pitch. They went to school in the morning, they came back, they got healthy food, very healthy food. They got support to do their homework. So private teachers came to the training center and supported the kids. And then in the afternoon, of course, the training started. And they didn't have to commute a lot. They lived there in the community. They could watch the professional team. They got inspiration. They have been part of the system. And you see my enthusiasm. That's a really, really strong point of Munich 1860, even if they sometimes struggled financially, but they produce and support and evaluate excellent talent.
Talents. What is, of course, very important to develop these kind of talents with kind of boarding schools in a way, like you said.
Right.
So this is definitely something that kind of concept we definitely need in Turkey here more, that kind of schools, and otherwise we can't achieve these talents. Like Oliver Kahn, as a biggest talent in Germany, for example.
Yes.
You were also managing him.
Yeah, I was managing him, yes. So Oliver Kahn, you know Oliver Kahn, the German goalie, captain of FC Bayern Munich, captain of the national team. And we came to Istanbul for a Champions League match on March 15th last year and met Mr. Hür. And Oliver was there, and also his business partner, Moritz Mattes, will talk to you right after our session to you and explain a little bit more about what Oliver is doing today and what he might want to do also here in Turkey with you. My experience with players in the club, and especially with Oliver Kahn, was post-career. That's very interesting, and I am not a player's agent, but I'm very experienced in marketing personality brands, like Oliver Kahn as a TV expert for German ZDF. He was here in Istanbul to commentate the Champions League match, but also do advertising partnerships with Samsung or Snickers for the World Cup. So and Oliver always was focusing on his career, of course, but now, after the end of his active time, he also thinks about giving back his experience to the young talents. But Moritz will talk about this later. So how do you handle a personality like Oliver Kahn? It's like a consumer brand. Yeah. You know, you need to identify the positioning, the relevant aspects. You need to find the right target group and the right sponsors to bring such a strong character together with a brand. And then at the end, you need to tell a story. Yeah. And the very interesting thing in our days, which is very media-driven and very digital, working in football, working with strong players, brands, and personalities, you have to produce a lot of content. You need to use social media. You need to produce videos, short clips. You need to feed, you know, the young talents, the target groups, and you need to interact with them. And let me allow me, and we are looking on the watch already, let me allow to tell you one thought which I find very interesting. In the time where social media and digital grows and grows and grows and becomes a power, we shouldn't forget that all those personalities and active players have gained their reach and their awareness from playing in a club. They started there and they got hired by one of your clubs and selected by you coaches, and you brought them up, and they had the luxury and the honor to grow in a team. And then suddenly, step by step, and today very immediate, they jump on social media and they run their own show, which I, from my side, think it's not really fair, because the first start happened in the youth academy, in the trainings, in the belief and trust of your clubs.
But then it develops like the personality rights we were talking about. So even Oliver Kahn retires, or even David Beckham retires, they still are in the football business. They still try to do something like founding their own brand, or like David Beckham with his new club. Like, we see this trend of sport investment in a way.
Yeah, before we come to sports investment, I think it's also related to a kind of responsibility those very famous people on our planet have. They have benefited a lot, not only money, but they have benefited a lot from society, from the fans, from the matches, from the World Cup, from all tournaments. And when they have finished their career, as we see here, and in many examples, they also can give something back and use their, to be a celebrity, to use that power and reach to motivate the young stars of tomorrow and the youth, and bring their knowledge back actually to the pitch.
Yeah, because I also see that there's still like they want to be a part of that football business. Like, they want to give back. They are doing social responsibility projects. They are founding your own clubs. They're building a new brand. Like, trying to analyze what's missing, maybe where can, like, all the attention and all the dedication what they had from the clubs, like from the coaches and the fans, they don't want to stop when they retire. They want to give back in a way.
Exactly, yeah, and that's the opportunity also for the football industry.
Yes,
to
definitely.
Use and integrate those very experienced people.
People, yes, yes. Especially sport investments.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So as we know, everything costs a lot of money. We saw the stadium investments, and but it's not only stadiums. It's TV rights. It's players. It's the player transfer market, and also sponsorship and marketing. So what I'm doing with my partner and with my company, we are focusing on consulting and sales and exploiting of rights, but every other agency is doing that. We see or identified a strong trend in sports investment. We know that in the United States and in America and in the UK and in Australia, there are a couple of big sports investment funds. And we established this market and see there is a big interest from the capital side to invest into sports, to invest into football. Of course, we see also a lot of investment projects like stadiums, buying a club, establishing a youth academy, which we will hear later, requires capital and money. So, and we see that the market and the business of soccer and football has reached a relevant and a very mature level. So, and this level becomes interesting and attractive for the capital side, because with the low interest rates and the very high real estate prices and the high employment level in the world and expensive companies, the private equity and investor community is looking, where could I invest and where can I create a margin and a profit? And the sport investment section is very, very interesting. We are looking at that in Germany. You know that we have a very special situation with the 50+1 rule in Germany. So the German football is still blocking foreign investors to buy clubs. What we see what happened in the UK, in Paris. So this will be a very, very strong development in the next decade. We think that even more capital and money will flow into football. But at the end of the day, it always matters, what do we do with that money? What do you do with that money? What are the right talents? How do you develop them? How do you invest in the next national team, you know, for the next couple of tournaments? So I hope we could give you a little tour through the world of the football business and the football industry, from a little guy from Germany with all the experience, which should be absolutely transferable to you, to Turkey. And Julie and I, with my partner in our company, we are partners, and we are happy to act and support and help here in Turkey.
Yes,
so thank you very much at that stage from my side.
Thank you Robert. Önce bir alkışlayalım. Bizim amacımız da sadece biliyorum, there are some regulations like for traveling that I know a lot of coaches and also sport club colleagues. They want to travel, but they have these visa regulations. That's why I think it's very important to bring international guests to the FIFEX. That's why thank you to Dilber Bey and Hübey and Ismail Bey again, you know, for having us, because it's very important that we have this kind of exchange and that we also are open for any kind of questions later, and we like to network, get in touch with you, because I think it's very important to learn from each other. Yes.
Super.
Thank you a lot.
Thank you very much.
Teşekkür ederiz.
Thank you.
Peki, çok teşekkür ediyoruz. Mr. Niemann, please. Ha, varmış. Güzel. Okay. Beni duyabiliyor musunuz? Yes. Okay, peki. Önce bir kez daha alkış alalım. Şimdi, Gülsev Hanım, size de çok teşekkür ediyoruz. Benim merak ettiğim bir konu var. Evet, sermaye akışı futbola çok önemli. Ama kara sermaye, yani siyah para akışında önlem alınıyor mu?
I heard about that.
Mit dem Schwarzgeld, genau.
Ob
man das verhindern kann.
Okay, now I got the question, thank you.
Okay.
So I think it's very important to prevent that and change that and leave that behind. When big television stations and big brands like Coca-Cola or car companies are involved in the football business, they have to be absolutely clear, and this is very much controlled on all sides. I'm more a businessman. I don't know about the players' agent market, but I would say, and you could see that also of the reaction of FIFA some years ago, they had an eye on it and they cut it down, also the third-party ownership rule. So I think there are a lot of people working to establish stronger rules and convince all of us in the industry to play a straight game, because otherwise we won't win.
Aynen öyle. Peki, teşekkür ediyoruz ve konuklarımızın ödüllerini vermek üzere Samsun Spor Kulübü Başkanı İsmail Uyanık Bey'i davet ediyorum. İsmail Bey. İsmail Bey. Çok tam sporcu kişiliğinizle buradasınız şu anda. He's a president of Samsun Spor Club. Evet. Mr. Robert NIEMANN ve Gülsev Hanım'ın Teşekkürler Sayın Başkan. Gülsev Hanım teşekkürler. Mr. NIEMANN, thank you very much for your information. Thank you very much. Görüşeceğiz tekrar.